Hi. It's often frustrating when you're trying to figure out someone's personality type and either they're not taking the test very well, or the test is just being unreliable, and potentially it's not very feasible to give them a personality test to do. Maybe you're just in a conversation with them, maybe they don't have time for it or whatever. You want to ideally figure out someone's personality type straight away, right? Or just by having a conversation with them. So I'm going to be giving some sort of tips to try and help you do that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is obviously get a bit familiar, at least, with some of the personality types. And there's a few ways you can do this. So if you, first of all, a useful way to just be able to get familiar with rough sort of stereotypes of them is obviously through like memes and looking at videos with like 16 personalities and stuff, and that can sort of help you get the, the sort of rough foundation of what each personality sort of is and is known for. It's not going to be perfect, but it should help you at least eventually get up to the stage of knowing roughly what all the personality types are and just some idea about that without also it being too boring to try and you just research it all. It's quite an easy way to consume the information just by looking at that stuff. Um, then eventually, if you do that enough, you'll even when watching it, you'll sort of start to realize very specific individuals who fit those stereotypes perfectly. It's always just so like amusing when you look at a personality type and you think, wow, this is them. Um, because if you know, you'll know people who just, yeah, they just fit it so well. Most people won't, but some people will. So, and you'll be able to sort of use that to sort of guide you of this is a clear example of what one is, and then you can sort of apply that and to more and more nuanced cases. So while some people will be clear cut, you can sort of observe them and sort of, oh, they're an introverted sensing dominant user person. Use they have all these routines and stuff. They the that you can observe that in them and then figure that out, and then you'll get to a another introverted sensing user and you'll be able to see the sort of parallels between them even when it's not so obvious, and it is a skill that you develop over time. What is useful in terms of developing your hunches on them is basically try and figure out and then get the result afterwards, and then you can sort of see, oh, was I correct there? Obviously, doing this in person can be a bit difficult because the test isn't always reliable. So, what I found helpful is finding just like in fiction and stuff, just finding the most obvious examples of each personality type, like indisputably almost. Obviously, there's some people that'll say, oh no, they're not this type. But like, what is widely regarded as this person is sort of the epitome of this type, then you just, again, collect more data about that and you'll be able to gradually see it apply to more and more people in your life. The very the important thing to do though is not to look too deeply into the what and more the why. So with a lot of the time there are characteristics associated with different personality types. You know, INTJs playing chess, ISFPs musicians. It these at the end of the day are stereotypes. They can be the case a lot of the time because these personality types are drawn to those types of activities. But just because someone's that personality type doesn't mean they will be, and someone can be even if they're not that personality type. So if you really want to look at the justifications for those things happening, so you could have an ISFJ who plays chess because they were raised playing chess and it's nostalgic for them potentially, and they're not so focused on the sort of stereotypical INTJ mastermind planning side of it, and then more focused on the sort of, I don't know, maybe they memorize the moves and openings and stuff more. And then equally you could have um, you could have other things that are very similar going on, where it's very much in the justification for it than the actual what is happening. So that, I think when a lot of people begin to do that, they very much look for the stereotypes, and then if someone like kind of, there's a lot of gatekeeping of like, oh no, you don't fit into this, where it's very much sort of the underlying fundamental cognitive processes that are going on with cognitive functions and stuff. It's not about the actual things themselves. Um, yeah, so if you effectively just try and basically at the end of the day just get more exposure to personality types, try and make sure it is definitely that personality type at the beginning, because you don't want to sort of get misconceptions about what it is at the very beginning before you've drawn any sort of conclusions. You do want the fundamental idea of what these personality types are, and then you will gradually be able to get more and more of the people you just meet in real life. They'll they'll just click a lot more often. And there'll naturally be some people that are more. I mean, that fit better because I mean it isn't sort of kind of an arbitrary sort of line that's drawn between in the personality between, like, it's kind of an arbitrary division in the personality. So some people will fit closer on, like, some people will fit neatly into the personality types more than others, um, whereas other people it's a lot more on the edge because it doesn't feel like it fits as well. But you can if you look deep enough see how it is working, but it's not just on the surface and it's obvious as much. So yeah, don't be too disheartened if you can't immediately type everyone. You also have to be aware of other people and having seeming like another thing, like that maybe they're pretending to sort of be a certain way and sort of acting, and different people are different in different social situations as well. So it can be difficult, and just try not to get too overconfident in your own typing ability, especially at the beginning. But even after years of practice, you're not gonna get it right every time. So just try and keep an open mind about it. Don't kind of keep shout to next someone, no, you're this personality type, you're this personality type. If like, actually no, I'm this personality type, then try and keep an open mind. Maybe have a conversation with them about it, and try and figure out sort of why that is, and maybe you'll get to sort of have a better understanding about them through that. Thanks for watching the video, and hope to see you next time. Bye.